Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name's Tom Novak, and today we're going to try something different. Let me get the tablet over so you can see the board. Okay, I had a rose hip on a rose bush, so maybe we can get some more rose bonsai trees out of it, but I don't know if there's any seed in the rose hip. It stood over winter from in the fall. It was a bright red, and then it turned a nice brown. Here's the rose hip right there. Now the flower, the David Austin flower, the rose bush that I have, the flower from the David Austin was right next to Pope John Paul II rose bush. So I don't know what crossed, or if it crossed with another rose. We never know. But you never, when you get hybrids and plant patented roses like this, you're not going to get the true rose. So let's see what the cross comes out. I'm going to use a fruit dish pot and vermiculite if there's seed in the pot. I mean in the pod. So let's see if there is any seed in this rose hip. It's nice and dry and overwintered, and you can feel it. It's a little spongy, so maybe if I peel it very carefully, and take the stems off. I don't know what's in here, so maybe it'll be a bust on the video and maybe not. But everything is wet, so let me take my shears that I got from Ironwood. Let's see if I can cut this, and just to get into there. There we go. Let's open it up and see if there's anything in there. And yes, as you can see, there is a seed in there. So let's see how many seeds are in here and if they will grow. So there's one. Let's dig them out. Now, granted, you want to get a bonsai tree real fast. Well, it takes patience. Don't be afraid to try something different. Don't get stuck in a rut. If you get seeds, use them. Ooh, this one's got about 5 in this half. Let's put them all on the sides. So we got 2, 4, 5 there. And I don't feel nothing else there. So let's open this other pod. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get this a little closer so you don't have to, so you can see what I'm doing here. And you can see there are the seeds right here. So let's take this out. There's another one in this one. And all you do is use your fingers to break the seed out away from the shell. Now these have been winter stratified, so these should grow. They should. But what I'm going to do, oh, this one's a nice big fat seed here. Unless that's just the shell on there. Now that's a pretty big seed. And here's another small seed. And here's another seed. So we can see what kind of a rose will develop out of this, and if we can make it to grow nice and strong. Now you're going to say, Tom, hey, what happened to your angel wings rose? And those seeds were really ransacked by the weather and the night terror, and they really didn't make it this year. So I bought 10 more seeds from Hertz Gardens, and we'll plant them later. But what I want to do is see how many rose seeds we get out of this rose hips and what kind of a rose we're going to develop out of it. There. So, if you can see, these are all the seeds that we got out of the rose hip. Now that's pretty good. Now don't be afraid to try something different. you got to go for broke. Hey, I'm 73. And you think it's going to stop me from planting seeds and see what I can develop out of this? Heck no, I'm going to try it out. So right now, let's see, what did I do with my cups? Here they are. We got to get the vermiculite. And all this is a $5 fruit dish. I was too lazy to cut up the fruit. And all I did was heat up my ice pick and melted the holes into the top for ventilation, and then I put holes into the bottom here on the bottom of the tray. So in total we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 seeds. Now that is a nice amount. So let me get this out of the way. Let's get our vermiculite. I'm just going to put it into the bottom. Now this is a good medium to get your seeds to germinate in, because it's real lightweight. Let's see if you can see it better. I'm a little bit at an angle. So right like that, and then we're just going to pat it down. And then I'm just going to start squirting it a little bit. Just like that. This way here, we'll get the seeds on a nice, firm, wet basis. There we go. Let's see, there's our seeds. And we'll get Mr. Elephant and just give it a little bit of water to wet it in. And then I'm going to have to find a spot outside to put it out there, like in the shade or something, so they can try and germinate. Now let's push this down. Now if you got arthritis in the hands, use the back of your measuring cup and just put it in. Now we're going to try to space the seeds equally. So there is the seed, how it looks. So I don't know what rows will develop out of this, or if the seeds will really grow. But let's take a chance and go for broke. I mean, you got nothing to lose. I don't care how old you are. Get some seed. You can always develop a small mommy bonsai from this, if you let them grow small. This is nothing. We're just spacing the seeds out just to see what's gonna grow. Just like that. And don't be afraid to try. And here is another seed. And this one I can put about here. Here's another seed. And I'll put this one in the middle. Now, with vermiculite, they say the rule of thumb is to bury the seed 2 to 3 times the depth of the seed into the soil. But we're not using a soil, we're using a soilless mix, which is just straight vermiculite. And vermiculite is so light that the seed will have no trouble pushing its way through. So, I know it was warm this afternoon, 51 degrees. It's about 8 o'clock right now, and I was just outside collecting the rose hip, and the nighttime temperatures got a little cooler. So maybe it dropped a couple of degrees. So I'm just going to wet this in a little bit. And I'll leave it in the basement until tomorrow, until I can find a nice spot in the shade for it. I had tried some different air stones in my pond. They must have clogged up along with the filter. I lost all my koi, 5 koi, one like this, that big. I says, oh man. So I got the pond going, I got everything running. So I'm gonna have to start all over again with some babies. So now all I'm gonna do is press this down a little bit, and I'm gonna take Mr. Elephant and we're gonna wet it, because you want these seeds to be nice and wet, nice and loose. Just like that. There you go. Just water it in. Got to have vermiculite nice and soaked. I mean, you can really develop something different. If you can't afford anything, vermiculite is cheap. You can get a small bag of it, because it's sterile. And the seed, and you can make a cheap bonsai for yourself. So let's see. Put the cover on. Just for now, so we can keep this moist so it can germinate. Just for now. With all the holes poked in. And we got something different. I'm just going to sterilize my clippers. Just wipe them, and there you go. Now, what's the first sign of spring here in Chicago? I'll tell you what it is. It's the geese flying north for the winter time. So as Red Skeleton would say, Nigel, Zin, Jay, and all you out there in Canada, duck, here comes a flock of them. I mean, I seen 4 waves today. It must have been about 50 to 100 per wave. And 2 days ago, there was another 2 waves going out there towards Canada. So they're coming. So you know spring is here. When the geese start flying north, I know spring is coming, because I could tell by the geese. I don't care about what it says on the calendar. I care about the geese flying. So, and how do I know? I'm out in the yard and you can hear them honking. Way up there, they look like little, oh, I don't know, they look like about that big up in the sky. So, gentlemen out in Canada, ladies and gentlemen out there, your geese are coming home. So, I'm going to have a nice hot cup of tea, relax, catch up on any videos that I missed, and then after that, relax with a nice round of some big band music and sit back and relax, because today cleaning that pond was a killer, plus 2 more tanks. Jesus, that pond took me like 2.5 hours. Man, it was something else. And to see the death of them fish and these stones, I quickly took them stones out, cleaned the water, the filter in the bottom. Everything was going wrong today. I couldn't believe it. And then I put some beneficial bacteria into the pond to keep it, to take away all the junk out of there. So I'll have to start out with babies again. So I don't know if I'll start out with a koi or just goldfish this time, and just keep them small for that 300 gallons. So you take care, everybody. Stay warm. Well, it was nice and warm today. I was out just like this. So stay warm tonight, because it's cool. Have yourself a cup of tea, some big band music, catch up on your YouTube videos, and just be safe. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.